In this video, we talk about assignment 9 and the requirements for assignment 9. So open up assignment 9 and download the assignment 9 example PDF. So we're going to be working towards something like this in assignment 9. This is a picture of me on the cover of the FDU magazine. So in your assignment, you will be using a photograph of yourself, a portrait photograph of yourself, for your assignment 9. But all the text will be the same: FDU magazine, follow that dream, scholarships, open new doors, in this issue, and all these will be the same with the same dotted lines here. And also you're going to have this ribbon on the side, and you're going to have to rotate it, and draw the shapes behind it. So the same color, all of this has to be the same color for the title and for this ribbon here. However, the color of this text here depends on what your background is. For example, if you have a really dark background, I do not expect you to have a black follow the dream color for follow the dream, because that would not make sense. You would not be able to see your text. So choose a color that will stand out against your background. So the first step to this assignment would be to edit your photo in Photoshop. But even kind of take a step back. Before you edit your photo, you have to select a photo. So you have to think about, is the photo that you selected going to work? This photo of myself works because I have my portrait on, the right side of the page, and on the left side there is some room for me to place text. My head is also not taking up the entire page. It's lower here, so I have room at the top for FDU magazine and room on this side here on the left side for follow the dream. So you have to make sure that you have room at the top and on the side. It doesn't matter which side. If your room is on the right side instead of the left, you just have to kind of flip things over, and that's accepted as well. Just make sure there's room at the top and room on one of the sides, and that your background isn't too busy. Okay, so you have to edit your photo in Photoshop. So make yourself look good. Okay, if you have any blemishes, clean that up, whiten your face a little bit, or darken it if you choose to. All right, so blur out the background. When you blur it out, it makes your text easier to stand out. So I've used some kind of a filter effect on my background and blurred it as well, so that is less distracting when I place the text. So don't blur your face out, of course, only blur the background out. And all this has to be done in Photoshop. However, this is an InDesign assignment, so you have to recreate the magazine cover in InDesign. But the Photoshop needs to be edited in Photoshop, because as you can see, in InDesign, you don't have the Photoshop capabilities, okay? So your photograph must be of high resolution, so 300 ppi for letter size. Don't use a tiny little photo and try and stretch it out to be big, because the quality will be really poor. So use appropriate and legible colors, like I talked about. You can use the colors that I have used, but it really depends on your background. If your background is all black, then it doesn't work to have black text up here. And here I've chosen white because my background here is dark, right? So make sure that it contrasts your background, and don't use too many colors, okay? So don't make a rainbow color, just choose one or two colors and stick with it. And then duplicate all the text in the same format in the sample here. All the text must be exactly the same, exact same fonts. You have to look for those fonts, play around with the fonts in InDesign and find those fonts. Make sure that they are the correct size, that they fit the same way as it does in the example. Then finally, export your file as a PDF and submit on Web Campus. So to do that, you go to File, Save As, okay, and go down here. Sorry, not save as. So you go to File, there must be an export. There it is, File, Export, and Adobe Print. Okay, so choose Adobe PDF Print and name it, Assignment 9, your name, and then save it. All right, and then I would like you to please submit this. And you can make your file size a little bit smaller if you go to compressions, or even, let's see, because sometimes you have trouble with a really large file size, and you might have trouble changing or you might have trouble attaching it. If that's the case, then you can get a hold of me and I can go through, what it is that you can change in your settings. But for now, let's leave it as it is. And but if it's really too big for you to upload, please get in touch with me. But this file size should really be fine. Okay. So after you've exported as a PDF, please submit it to me on here on Web Campus. And this assignment is marked out of 5, and it is due on Sunday.